Welcome to the Deep End. Tonight, a new ride is coming to Oaks Park in southeast Portland after local environmental groups opposed the plan to build a new 135-foot tall drop tower. Yesterday, the city declined those groups that appealed to stop that construction, giving Oaks Park the green light to move forward. Today, I talked to Mary Coolidge at the Bird Alliance of Oregon, who says the new ride could negatively impact numerous species that live and pass through Portland.
Where Oaks Park is located is in the south reach of the river overlay zone. It's incredibly high value habitat. It's surrounded on all sides by Ross Island, the Willamette River, Oaks Bottom, and then Oaks Crossing Natural Area, which is a metro property. Really high value habitat, some of the highest value habitat in the city, honestly, according to the City of Portland's own documents. In the early iteration of the lighting design, the entire ride would be covered in LED bulbs. And when we expressed concerns about that, without consulting us, the lighting design plan was modified to be up, skyward pointed high intensity lights, 8 of them, pointed up toward the top of the ride. But a lot of that light being unshielded and directed skyward is just going to end up in the sky. We immediately felt concerned about the adjacency of this lighting next to Oaks Bottom, a 163-acre multi-habitat area, a migratory bird park, a refuge according to the city's own designation, a site that hosts over 200 species of birds, 44 of which are listed as special status species.
We know that the city denied the Bird Alliance's appeal. Going forward, has the plan changed at all for lighting? What will lighting look like?
It is not good, honestly. It's a very disappointing decision that sets a super dangerous precedent. It signals to us that the city isn't going to adhere to its own lighting code, even in some of the highest value habitat, as we've talked about. And if you're not going to stick to the code here, then where are you going to stick to the code? The one modification that Oaks Park actually volunteered and that the hearings officer is having them adhere to is that during the month of October, they will have to stick with red and orange hues for the lighting of the ride. Now, that's a small step in the right direction. But one of the things that I brought up at the hearing, because they actually suggested this modification during the hearing, was that the first thing you want to do is control the direction of the light and the amount of the light. So you want to make sure that it's aimed down, fully shielded, and not too bright. The last thing that you want to do is start to address color temperature. And so they're really taking the least impactful of all of the things that they could do with the lighting and saying that they'll do that. The other thing is they're only proposing to do it in the month of October, when really peak migration is technically, according to the data that we get from Cornell University, from September 19th through October 19th. And in fact, data that we submitted to the record shows that we have really big movement nights from the beginning of September through the end of October. So it misses the entire movement of birds that happen in September and puts them at risk. So really, the modification that has been made at this point has not been enough to ameliorate our concerns. And we will absolutely be following up with the City of Portland, the Portland Permitting and Development Office, trying to find out why it is that they don't feel like they have to adhere to the code. Among other things, like the city's own river plan, suggesting that this is high value habitat where we should really avoid bright lights at night. It's inconsistent with the city's dark skies report. It's essentially just taking us absolutely in the wrong direction. The other thing that we will do is follow up with Oaks Park Association, because I think they do want to be good neighbors. I think they care about the fact that they got over 500 comments from the public, from not only neighbors in the area who feel that they will be impacted, but also Oaks Bottom users who are very concerned about impacts to wildlife. So our hope is just that regardless of the very low bar that the City of Portland has set for them, we are hoping that they will actually rise to a higher standard and demonstrate to the community that they care about the impacts that they're having.
Mary Coolidge with the Bird Alliance of Oregon there. Meanwhile, Oaks Park is also weighing in. They say that they are grateful for local officials' support in a solution to bring an exciting new attraction to the community. They sent us a statement that reads in part, quote, "Throughout this process, we have worked closely with lighting and wildlife experts to help reduce potential impacts on wildlife."